Hello. Hello. Excellent. Excellent. I'm so honored to be here. This is a great venue to be here. It's a great place to be. It's a great topic to talk about. I'm passionate about everything that I've heard today. I'm excited to be able to share it. I'm excited to have been asked to be here to share some of my story. So we're going to have some fun. It's one thing to hear myself talk for a long period of time. I get sick of myself, so I won't fall asleep when I talk, but I'm kind of zoning out. And I'm more interested in the questions after. The way we learn from each other, and we've had some experiences already today, is by asking and answering the hard questions. So I am going to talk, I'm going to share some stories about being a person with a disability and a career, some stories about overcoming some obstacles that you may be thinking about right now. And so I'm going to pre-answer those in the conversation that we're going to have. I'm going to talk about meeting people for the first time because that can be quite stark as a person with a disability. I'm going to share all these stories with you in hopes that at the end of this, whether we meet outside, we meet in our future, or you ask a question publicly at the end of this, that we're able to start a dialogue, because it's the dialogue and the relationships that will facilitate future opportunities for all. And so that's why we do this, and I'm excited about that. I want to start out the way I start out with a lot of high school students. When you get a gymnasium full of 1,000 high school students and they don't know what to do, and maybe they're looking at their phone, or maybe that they're paying attention to me, but as soon as I sort of waddle up on stage, they're paying attention to me. And I ask them this question. Raise your hand. How many of you people looked in the mirror before you left your hotel room or your house this morning? Raise your hand. What were you looking for when you looked in the mirror this morning? I'm sorry? Lint? All right, you threw me right off for lint. Okay, lint. Anybody else?
Make sure my eyes are clear.
Eyes are clear. All right, that's a good one. Somebody else?
Lipstick.
Lipstick? I did not put my lipstick on. I forgot this morning. Hair? How many people look for their hair? It's in place. Clothes? The clothes match? What are you doing before you're leaving the house, right before you go to work or you go out in your day, into the busy day and meeting other people? What are you doing when you're looking for all of these things? You're looking for what's wrong with you right before you begin your day, aren't you? You're not looking at yourself and saying, I'm my best friend. You're looking at saying, man, my hair's out of place. I've got lint on. I've got something wrong with me. You're not starting your day with the right mentality, are you? But if you went to your best friend, your spouse, your mate, your lover, whomever, the very best friend in your life, and you ask them, how do I look this morning? What are they going to say? Great. Exactly. Why is that? Unconditional. There's some funnier answers, but the reality is unconditional love. Your best friend, your spouse, your mate has stopped looking at what's wrong, clothes don't match, lint on your jacket, whatever it is. They've accepted and loved the person that you are on the inside. Tomorrow morning, next Monday morning, whenever it is, when you leave your house, you start your day, you're going to tackle some of these HR hurdles that you have in front of you. Just before you leave the house, I want you to look in the mirror, and I don't want you to see what's wrong with yourself. Right after that, I want you to say, what does my best friend see? What is it about me that my best friend loves the most? And then leave the house and tackle your day knowing what it is that your best friend loves about you. Why do I ask you to do this? Because for the longest time, I could not look at myself in the mirror. I was uncomfortable with what I look like, how I project. I've been in video production for 20 years. Uncomfortable with how I look on video. But through a series of events, opportunities, meeting people for the first time, and conversations with the people that care about me the most, I realized, you know what? It doesn't matter what I look like, it matters what's inside. And if I can take that into the business world, into the job environment, into a sales environment, I can succeed. So it's been a long time in learning, but I'm proud to be able to share that with you. I want you to try that exercise for yourself Monday morning, and you'll see how your day will improve. I want to share some stories with you about meeting people for the first time, as I said, and I'm going to get into that, but I want to sort of take a step back and explain a little bit about who I am. I'm proud of who I am. I am a graduate of Syracuse University. It's the first thing I say to everybody because I'm proud to be Orange, and I share that with everybody, and it will lead into a lot of the stories that I'm going to talk about. But I graduated Syracuse University with a degree in television, radio, film management in 1990, and I'm proud of that affiliation. I am a small business owner. I left my 20-year television career to start my own small business. And if the slide will go up for a minute, the business is called Our Ability. I left public broadcasting to take the video production unit outside to be able to raise money towards Our Ability. At Our Ability, we are a for-profit company. We mentor, connect, and inspire people with disabilities towards education and employment. We are also only 3 years old, but 3 years ago I decided, you know what, we can mentor people with disabilities because you know what, I had nobody that was a role model for me when I was 16, when I was 20, when I was 24 struggling to get a job. I needed a role model. And Our Ability is a place that we can tell video stories about people with disabilities, but we can also do one-on-one mentoring. We can do HR training. We do disability etiquette training. And we're excited about the work that we're doing, helping people with disabilities towards education and employment. It's so very important. So I'm proud to be able to share that with you. One of the things that we're doing right now that's really exciting is, you know, if I stand by net, you can't see me. I'm like a voice. It's kind of creepy. It's like Oz. One of the things that we're doing right now is we're investing our own resources in to be able to build a portal for people with disabilities nationally to upload their information. Again, if you go back to me when I was 16 and I was at a really nice prep school in New England, I could have used something like this to find my next step in my education. Or after I was at Syracuse University, I could have used something like this. So I wanted to build a place on our website where people can upload their profile. Why? Because how many times have you heard about the question, what are your strengths and weaknesses toward a certain position? But when you ask me, what is my weakness towards a certain position, what are you really asking, but you're not asking? You're not asking about my ability. So I wanted to be able to have a place where I can upload my profile, I can upload my skill set like every other resume builder, but then it quantifies my ability. And so that businesses out there can then search by ability. So you might need a salesperson if you're a pharmaceutical company. You can go in there and you can say sales or public speaking, X amount of years, and those names pop up. Because you know it has to be about ability. It has to be about mentoring. So in Our Ability, we're proud to be able to build networks of people with disabilities towards education and employment. It's so important. I'm proud of what we do. I am active in my community, I'm active in my church, I'm proud of those things. I am also married. Andrea and I have been married for 20 years, and I share that with you because that is one of those unasked questions you will not ask me unless I bring it out. Did he find somebody? Does he have that mate? Does he have that spouse? Andrea and I have been married for 20 years, and I share that with everybody because I am proud of it. We have 3 kids. We have a 24-year-old son, so you can do the math on the 20-year-old marriage and figure that one out. He hates when I do that, too. We have a 16-year-old daughter who is a junior in high school, and she's starting to look at colleges right now, and I'm awfully proud of my daughter. She is growing up right in front of my eyes, and she's a great young woman. And she's going to be her own leader in time, and I'm really proud to see that. And we have a 10-year-old son, Owen, who is in 5th grade, and he's also very active, and he plays youth hockey. So we're all over the Northeast for 6 months a year in different ice rinks watching his hockey games, and we enjoy it very much. Maybe we weren't smart anywhere along the way, 24, 16, and 10, but we're awful proud of our children. And I share that with you because that is one of those unasked questions. Did he have a family? I'm also, as is kind of obvious to most of you that can see me right now, I am a congenital amputee. I was born with an amputation. I was born with limb loss. So I think most of you can see me right now, but if you can't, to understand it, my arms end at where your elbows are. No elbow, no forearm, no hand, no wrist, no fingers. But I can tell you I am blessed to have this body. I'm blessed to be the person that I am. In the ends of my arms, I'm blessed to have the sensation of what it would be like to have hands.
So I'm moving the muscles in the ends of my arms right now, if you can see me in the front. I'm moving the muscles that would have turned into hands. So right now in my own mind, I have the sensation of what it would be like to point at you, or make a fist, or give the middle finger driving. I'm sorry, I'll do it over here. I'm blessed to have the sensation of what it would be like to have hands. And I wouldn't trade it with anything, because I do understand in my mind what it would be like. The end of my arms, you'll notice if you get up close that I've got these sort of fatty tissues that would have turned into thumbs. And I held a business card earlier with it, and I didn't even realize I was doing it, and I noticed that it was being noticed. But the end of my arms, they would have been thumbs, and they didn't turn out to be thumbs. They turned out to be these sort of fatty tissues. But my college roommate at Syracuse University, freshman year, you have to understand, he is maybe one of the most successful people I know. He's in the top 4 in NFL films in Philadelphia. He's very well off and well respected in his field, and a very good friend of mine. Well, he heard about me freshman year at Syracuse University. We're 18 years old. We'd gotten on campus, and he wanted to see me. And so what he did is he knocked on my bedroom door, and he opened up the bedroom door, and he said hello. And he looked me up and down, and he sort of walked out. Didn't really ask me any questions necessarily, but must have heard a rumor I looked a little funny. But he looked me up and down, and okay, whatever. Knocks on the door again 15 minutes later, and Pat walks in, and he goes, "John, I just wanted to take a look at you again." I said, "Okay, this is getting weird now." He goes, "I really want to come up and touch that thing on the end of your arm. Is that okay?" I didn't even have a chance to say yes, and he comes right on over, and he starts to touch the thing on the end of my arm lightly, but then not so lightly. And then he has this sort of perverted smile on his face. He's folding it over, and he's twisting it, and mutilating it. He's trying to take it off my person. "That feels so weird, John." He goes, "That feels like a marshmallow." I said, "A marshmallow?" He goes, "Yeah, that's the marshmallow." So we have called this thing the marshmallow ever since that day freshman year. My kids, his kids, our future grandchildren, we still get together all the time. This is the marshmallow. Then he grabs it and he starts inspecting it. He's like, "Look at the scar tissue around the marshmallow, John." I said, "Yes, I know, I've had it my whole life." "No, you haven't." He goes, "Look at that scar tissue. Clearly your parents must have had that surgically attached to you after you were born." "When did they have it surgically attached after you were born?" "Pat, what on earth are you talking about?" "John, I've seen TV shows. They do this all the time. They attach things." I said, "Pat, I swear to you, I've had it ever since. See it move, see it move." "No, I don't believe you." We lived together 3.5 years. Very best friends. Senior year, graduation night, the night before graduation, we have a big party in our house, and we're living with 8 guys at this time, and we have our siblings that have come to the party, and our parents have come to the party, so we've got 50 or 60 people in this house, and all of a sudden I'm paying attention to Pat because he's got my mom and dad cornered in the corner. He's finally worked up the courage after 3.5 years, and I hear him whisper, "Mrs. Robinson, tell me the truth. When did you have the marshmallow surgically